PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of the PR Connections podcast is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
G'day. We're in another week of, I'm trying to get my face away from all those letters, for introducing wonderful people to listen to. I have a small audience here tonight. I'm babysitting a little chihuahua and a parrot, and they're both on the floor next to me. So if you hear them, it's because they really liked it. G'day to AA Monet. How are you there?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
You are going to be so amazing to listen to. I cannot believe it. I'm going to just sit here and keep quiet and listen to all your life. AA is a poet and a writer and everything combined into a ball that she just scrunches up and makes happen every day. So tell me how it started and why you're in Vegas and what are you doing?
Yes. So my love for writing actually started in a high school English class. And it was about junior year because I actually hated English my freshman and sophomore year because I hated how subjective it was. I'm like, the teacher gets to choose if I get an A. English, it was not my favorite subject until junior year. We had a poetry unit. And I was the only one in class that understood Shakespeare. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no, this kind of makes sense to me. So I just wanted to lean into that. And I loved that you could pick it apart. And some of the lines were based on, the poet's lifestyle and their history. So I just fell in love with poetry. So that started my whole love for writing in general. And I've been writing ever since then. And then I've been in Vegas. It'll be 2 years, March 20th. So I'm still a baby here in terms of how long I've been here. But I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. And I lived in Maryland for 4 years. So I was like, you know what, let's try the West Coast. So I landed in Vegas and I've loved it ever since. Yeah.
Well, it's probably a lot more exciting here for a poet and a writer.
For sure.
I always figure where you came from is probably full of, what do you call them? Cat things, those things that move earth and when you plow around and,
the cornfields and right. Yes. Yeah. There's parts of that. Omaha is a little livelier, but yes. So we are surrounded by it.
So did you finish your education here?
No. So I went to the University of Maryland for my last 2 years. That's what brought me to Maryland. But I started at Creighton University in Omaha. So I did 2 years at Creighton, 2 years at the University of Maryland, stayed there and worked at my job where I'm a proposal writer. And then I've been at that job since. So I've been with that company for almost 7 years now as a proposal writer. And we're still based in Washington, D.C. So my hours are 5 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. because of the 3-hour time difference. But I get done with my day early and that lets me do other activities, around Vegas, which is pretty cool.
That would not work for me. I'm not a morning person.
Me neither.
That 5 o'clock. Oh, yeah, right. So you get cracking early and you do your work. And then how does it all work in Vegas? What are you doing here that's so exciting?
Yeah, so it's nice that, the 5 a.m. to 1:30, so I get to check that off, my salary job and get that done. And then when I'm off, I can take a nap, I can go grocery shopping, but I also usually go to a lot of networking events. And since I'm a screenwriter and they're calling us, Hollywood 2.0, trying to get, Hollywood, here more so, that's been helpful for me to branch into that space. And then there's a poetry space, everywhere. So I've definitely been connected with the poetry space here. Yes, and then I have 2 of my own books. So that really helps keep me busy for vendor events, speaking opportunities, collaborating with bookstores, hospitals, nonprofits, you name it. So they all
Okay,
keep
so
me busy.
I don't know how you do it. I'd need toothpicks to keep my eyeballs. So tell me about the books. I know you've got one that's a child's book.
Yes. So my first one I published in 2021. So it was birthed basically out of COVID because we had to stay home. So I was like, okay, let's get serious about this. And so that one is titled Lost and Found, and that's a poetry book where the reader can name each of the poems. And so that's really important to me. You'll hear each of my books have a form of interaction. That's really important to me. The second book is the children's book you're speaking of that's titled All the Things That Make You Special. And it's a 3-in-1 where the kiddos can read, draw, and color. And then this year, I'm releasing my third book, which will be another children's book titled All the Things That Make You Feel. So that's all about feelings. And, and I present the feelings as visitors because they're temporary.
Oh.
They come and go. So it's really kind of for 8 to 12 age range. So them, that age processing their emotions. So I'm really excited for that.
You don't look old enough to be doing all this and thinking in these ways. I understand what you're saying about that first book, about that the little person can get into it, because I'm finding with my granddaughter who's homeschooled, she's 9, but she's already 2 grades above where she should be.
Wow.
But all the classes, even the math, has got art in it, so they can draw and do all these different things and express themselves with their words, with English. So it's not just like when I went to school. Yeah,
Just
was that.
Yes,
That,
just do it. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yes, that's fabulous.
I think what made me think about it is because, like, we keep saying that, kids and even adults, right? We need to read more, but we're not creating books that people want to read. And I think that's kind of like the hard truth. Well, how are you going to tell a 6-year-old to choose a book over an iPad? Realistically. And it's like, okay, well, since I get to draw and color in it, the attention span will still be a little short. They'll probably put it down after, 10 to 15 minutes, but at least it's something that they want to pick up. And that was really important to me. Yeah.
That's really, I think there's going to be some children, baby children, that aren't going to know how to put pen to paper. It's going to be really sad.
And they're not even teaching right cursive anymore, I don't think.
Oh, my little girl. She's a cursive writer.
Good. I was like, I just went to a school today for Nevada Reading Week, and the teacher was telling me how it just breaks her heart, that they're not learning cursive anymore for signatures and, just writing a letter or anything. It's just, kind of a diet.
I tell my little granddaughter that what she's learning is like spy writing, because there's only going to be a few people, young people, that are going to be able to read what she's writing.
Exactly. Yes. They're going to be looking for, like, wait, who still knows how to write cursive?
Yeah, right. So as a screenwriter, what are you doing here?
Yeah, so I mostly do local projects. I'm still kind of building up my community and how I want to present myself. If people want to collaborate with me, they have to sign a contract. That's a little bit different than what I've been seeing here. So I'm just finding my own structure first, so that when I do get to the point of feeling comfortable with distributing or anything like that, that I have it down packed on my end, because the words are the most important thing, So it's like, I have to protect myself, copywriting it, just going through the right process. But I've done some of the 48-hour competitions here. Which is pretty cool. Yes. So I competed the 2 years I've been here. I've competed each year. And this last year, I was on 2 different teams as a screenwriter at the same time, which is a little unheard of. And we got romance for both of the genres, which was also a little unheard of. So that one pushed me to my limits, but I like that. I like a challenge, because I had already done it the first year, and I'm like, let's try 2 teams this year. So
I love the 48 hours. I think it's amazing. Yeah, I used to be involved a lot in all that kind of thing when I lived. I say the West Coast. I really mean where the coast meets the ocean. With the real West Coast.
Yes. Different, yes.
Yeah, right. So what is for 2026, what are you focusing on now?
Great question. Yeah, I'm looking to build something that's a little bit more sustainable, and figuring out ways to have my books grow in spaces that I don't necessarily have to be there for. So that's where the collaborations with hospitals, nonprofits, daycare, schools, doctors' offices, I mean, anyone that has a love for literacy and, you know, kind of serves that child population, starting to pivot a little bit more into workshops and panels and, you know, like more paid opportunities as well for like knowing my worth. So I'm kind of focusing on making it more of a business as opposed to like a passion and a hobby.
But you've still got that 5 o'clock one in the morning.
Exactly. We're balancing. We are balancing. Yes.
That wouldn't be balanced for me at all. So you've been doing that for 7 years, right?
Yes. I think 2019. Yeah, we're getting close. In June, it'll be 7 years.
So you have no idea how to sleep in.
Well, okay, so I started in Maryland, so that's where the job is based. So I was we would go into the office, and then COVID hit, and then the company went fully remote. So they were like, "We don't care where you work, as long as you work." So I went back to Omaha for 2 years to publish my book. So that was a 2-hour time difference. And then I moved to Nevada, and that was a 3-hour time difference. So it was a small, you know, transition, but yeah, it's.
Well, you came here at the right time because through COVID, I'm part of Toastmasters, and one night we were still keeping open the way we could because we snuck around and did sneaking around things so we could meet each other. And I thought I'm going to come home by the Strip because we met down south and my home is north. So I went through the whole Strip one night and it was pitch black. I think I saw 3 people walking around in the dark and probably 2 bicyclists. And then there was me in a car and probably another couple. So you actually hit Vegas at the right time by not coming then. I mean, we were closed for business.
Took it seriously, and it's so interesting. Some cities took it more seriously, I think. Like,
everybody's an entertainer, so you couldn't go to the entertainment, so the entertainers left. It was a ghost town. It was very, very weird. It was like one of those movies, those sci-fi movies, you know.
Yeah, it feels like there's some like ulterior motive here. Like, what's going on? Yes.
Yeah. So you picked the perfect time. And we're still growing out of that. I know there's still a lot of things that have to change. But I just went past coming down here tonight, past the Strip, and I see there's a great big guitar being built.
Yes.
And I'm going, I read about that. And it's nearly up. I'm driving past. You know, it's a crazy, crazy city.
They're building it so fast, right? Yep.
So you've got your heels in here for a while now. You've made this home.
Yes, Vegas has welcomed me. I just wrote a poem dedicated to Vegas actually recently. I submitted it because TEDx is coming. And so they were looking for performers and we're supposed to hear back by the end of the week. So fingers crossed, but that was really cool. And so it was an ode to Vegas and I got to shout out different businesses that I've, connected with and some of the poetry groups like Spotlight Poetry, that I've just been attached to since I moved here. So that poem is really cool. That's one of my new favorites. And I don't even mention Vegas until the very last line. So that's really cool.
Is that going to have its big da-da on TEDx?
That's the hope. They're going to let everyone know if they've gotten selected by the end of this week. So I'm holding my breath.
That will be so fantastic. So I've got to hear it and everything by the time that you da-da, put it out there. That's what I love with the children. I've done a lot of classes for children and also for children that are in college, but the little children, they love the poetry. It brings so much out in them when they can feel that they can express themselves in any way they want and nothing's wrong. I love doing that. I used to love to write poetry and I've gone off it. I think it's because I'm not near the Pacific Ocean. That used to feed me and I'd go down on the rocks and I'd create poetry, but I'm just got sand around me now. So are you doing anything with any of the actors here? Are you putting anything together?
Yeah, so some actors will come to me to read their script. Some of them are doing more short stories on social media, so they kind of have a script for that. If I have any opportunities that I'm considering, I have some go-to actors and actresses that I use. I just was reached out to today for looking over a script as a screenwriter. So that's something. But yeah, it's just been more so being like a first AD or assistant director on sets, just kind of getting exposure from multiple angles. I've gone and shadowed at some of the acting schools here, and
Right.
they've forced me to participate. I was like, no, I just was here to watch. So that was good though. I think as a screenwriter, we have to write these intricate details in, so
Mm-hmm.
be able to see it from all of those angles. So right now I'm just kind of building my experience and my exposure.
Is there anything you would like to read from one of your books to us to give us a feeling?
I can. I'm trying to think of which one. Some of my
Oh,
poems are like
don't think too hard on my show.
you're like, just do it. Yeah, the children's book is all rhyming. So that one can get, pretty on the nose. And then I'm trying to think of my poems. The poems that I have memorized are like 3 to 4 minutes. So those are a little longer. So I'm trying to think if I have a shorter one memorized.
That's all right. You can give me 3 or 4 minutes. Go for it.
Okay. Well, this one is dedicated to the ladies. And what I like to do whenever I perform or, recite my poem is ask the listener, the reader, whomever to shout out what they would name the poem. So at the end of this, I'm going to ask you what you would name it. Okay.
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 I'm ready.
Okay. I'm about to start.
Thank
Ladies.
you for doing this.
Of course, yes. I love on the spot. I'm like, well, let's do it. Ladies, I want you to know that this poem is for you. It's for you. So, no, I'm going to say this because I have to, because I love you, because I was you. We are walking magic, and yet we rather ask someone else how we did it. A magician tricked by their own treat, ladies. I refuse to admit defeat, killing ourselves with the weight of how strong we should be. I know there's parts to you don't want anyone else to see. See, my emotions have a hide and seek arrangement where somehow my trauma always seems to find me. Knowing my hiding spots better than I do, ladies, it's time to heal the hurt left inside of you. Take a deep breath. I know how much your mind needs to rest because we are getting to a point of doing life just because. Drowning in alcohol, drugs, and love. Come give me a hug. Let me use these words to wrap my Me Too blanket around you. Snuggle up. Tell me about that foe you swore was friend. About when social media and your anxiety started walking hand in hand. Tell me about that toxicity you seek. About how that partner, that job, that situation made you feel like you couldn't really speak. Let yourself see. We have trauma flocked together for so long. We have forgotten how different our feathers have always been. And somewhere along the way, we chose not to fly. When faced with the truth, will you still tell yourself a lie? Ladies, I too have trusted a wolf, confusing his growl for a grin, ignoring how he twice thought me a silly piece of meat. A pig only kept alive for slaughter, something pink for him to devour. But with each iteration of my tolerance, I got smarter. From straw to stick to brick, there was nothing he could say to get in. And to be clear, this story isn't about hardening. It's about making myself home, about boundaries and standing firm in my no, about not being someone's little midnight snack. So let him huff and puff knowing your foundation is built so that he can never get you back. Ladies, when was the last time you heard you are a walking hallelujah? Do you know the power of prayer? There is no longer enough space for both faith and fear. Break yourself down until you remember why the Creator created you. If you do nothing else, make sure you see yourself through. Romanticize this life packaged for you. I speak life into your career. I pray you experience nothing but happy tears. Remember to stop letting your sob be your only story. Ladies, this poem is for self, for you to sit and ask, when was the last time I said, I love you, and wasn't talking about someone else? So yes, ladies, this poem is for you because I had to, because I was you, and because I love you. Thank you.
Oh my.
That's
Oh
it.
my. Oh, that brought tears up. That's amazing. And what I felt straight away, because 2026 is my year. I knew it before it started, but it's all that came out was go and flow for me. That's how it.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that is a beautiful piece of poetry.
Thank
Every
you.
woman should have it.
I love that one. That's my new favorite. I appreciate that.
Oh.
So you would title it Go and Flow?
Go and flow. Yeah, that's me right now. That's me. Oh, wow. Okay, now back to earth. Yes.
Right. I can reset. Yes.
Oh, gosh. So that other book you've got, is that poetry, is it?
The first book, yes, is a poetry book. And then the second book is a children's book. And then the third book will be a children's book as well.
And the poetry book, does it have that poem in it?
It does not. I wrote that poem, I believe, last year, and I published the poetry book 2021. So it's kind of interesting to see how far, my poetry has come, because my Lost and Found poetry book was a lot about heartbreak. I was freshly out of high school, and then it came, that's what most of the poems are based in heartbreak and kind of finding your way back to yourself. And the reason why it's titled Lost and Found is because it's 3 different sections. There's a lost section, there's an and section, and there's a found section. And I wanted there to be 3 different sections because so often we talk about being lost, we talk about being found, but we don't talk about the in-between and how we get there. So and is actually my favorite because a lot of times we're kind of in that and in some way, shape, or form. We can find ourselves in something and lose ourselves in something else. So I wanted to kind of talk about that beauty of it kind of being cyclical.
Oh, my heart's still open like that. Wow, that was just phenomenal. Now, where can people find you? What if you got a website?
I do, yes. So my website is www.AA Monet, and Monet is spelled MONET, and then that's monetpoetry.com. So AA monetpoetry.com. And then on all of social media, I'm AA Monet. Yes.
That's perfect. Oh, you've got it. Are you on something? What is it? What are the social media places that, like Substack? Are you on Substack?
I just joined Substack, actually, a couple of weeks ago. So I'm still navigating it, but I've heard great things. Yes.
Okay. So that'd be great to put that poem up there. That is beautiful.
Yes, I didn't think about that. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if anybody's on Facebook anymore. I still am because I've got friends all over the world that
Yes, I have a Facebook page for I have everything. I literally have every single platform. I don't keep up with, I post across them. I have a YouTube page, where I can post me performing and different things. But I just take the same thing that I post and I'll put it on all of them.
Right.
But Instagram and TikTok are probably the ones I focus on the most for, connecting. But I have Threads and X and whatever else, everything else is called, just so that people can reach me, because I think that's important. But yeah.
So that's what you do from your day job, which finishes about just after lunch. Then you've got your social media.
Yes.
How do you fit it all in? What time do you go to bed?
I'm actually a night owl. So it's so funny that I clock in at 5, because as a writer and as an English major at university, I was so much up at the night. Like I got my best ideas and knocked out all of my papers at 10 p.m. Like that was when I got in flow state easiest, and I would play some lo-fi music and just knock it out. So yes, the social media is probably the one that I'm falling, that's falling the most short for me. Thankfully, people are still finding me and still reaching out, mostly from word of mouth. Vegas is amazing with word of mouth. But I would love to hire a social media manager. Like I'm looking, so, because I can't do it all and I don't want to. There's people here that are everywhere, that have this expertise, and I'm willing to pay.
Hey, we got a beautiful university here with lots of young people that are into all that stuff. I mean,
that's true.
Most kids could do social media by the time they're 4.
Oh yes, they've got it down.
But yeah, we've got a great university here, and I've met a lot of people that have helped a lot of people with their connection because they're students at the university. I used to belong to a theatrical group, and we used people from the university, young people, and they were just phenomenal. And they're so excited too to be doing it.
Experience, right? That's really smart.
And you can give somebody some credits for whatever they're doing and get your work done. I'd try that if I was you. I mean, somebody's going to love what you do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you. I'm going to get you back again. When are you finishing your book?
So crazily enough, today Amazon KDP had a little technical crash. So I'm like, I don't like that. But I was hoping for an Easter launch. So that's, April.
Wow.
So yes, all of the illustrations are done. All of the content is done. I just need to upload, do one more reading of it just to make sure. But it's 90% done. It's just needs to be uploaded.
Do you do the illustrating as well?
I do not. I outsource for my cover and the inside of the book illustrations, and I've used the same two guys for both. One of them I work with my 9 to 5 for the last 7 years, so we have a very good understanding. And then also he has that passion on the side, so that's great that we've been able to keep that. And then the inside of the book, I think he's early 20s. And he's one of my cousin's best guy friends, and he loves to do this. And he's kind of like more starting out. So I was like, well, that's perfect for a children's book. So I used him for my first children's book, and I also used him for this one as well. So I love to, keep my team, after you're vetted.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hold you close.
With the second book, is that going to be rhyming for children too?
So since this is 8 to 12, no. So they'll be able to write some like affirmation statements. They'll be able to pinpoint what they need in that moment based on the feeling. They'll have, some exercises, whether it be breathing exercises, or kind of like a try this or look in the mirror. So that one is really working like kind of like a workbook. So they can really process their emotion. And the key thing about the book is that they can skip to whatever feeling that they need in that moment. So it's not supposed to be read cover to cover. If you're feeling angry right now, skip to page, whatever page that is, you don't have to sit with the whole book every time. And I think that's
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when is it? It's going to be out by Easter, and people will be able to buy it then, right?
Yes, it'll be on my website and Amazon. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I have to look it up and buy one for my beautiful granddaughter.
Yes. You said she's 9, so that's perfect. Yes.
Yeah. She reads like it's going out of fashion. She goes to bed of a night. I mean, she reads books, big books.
So she's 11. Yeah.
But she'll stay there all night to finish a book. Yeah.
I love that. There's so much information in books. Like it's so much wisdom. And I love that she loves reading it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it came from her mom and from me. You can live a whole life in books.
Seriously.
Learn a whole lifetime of education, everything. And when I was a child, I never went to school because I was so sick with asthma, and I stayed at home and I read. Like, it's a wonder I didn't turn into a bookworm. That's all I did was read. Yeah. But it worked. And that was before homeschooling.
Right.
I can talk real good.
There you go. I heard that you said they used to write poetry.
Yeah.
Sounds like we might need to get you reading some.
And I used to write too. I just got so involved, like as we have done since COVID, in keeping a roof over our head and food in our mouths. So
priorities.
My days of like sitting down with a pen and doing all that, it'll come again. I got plenty of time. I've got at least another 25 years up my sleeve.
A minimum. Yes, I agree. And I can't wait to hear whenever you're ready. Yeah.
So you gave the website, and are you doing anything around town right now where people can go see you?
I am currently in the Clark County Government Center. They have a Till the Wheels Fall Off art exhibit right now until March 27th, I want to say. Okay. And I have a poem that I specifically wrote for that exhibit that's on display in the amphitheater, I believe. So that's been up since February. And we go get our artwork at the end of March. So that's one thing. Hopefully, fingers crossed for TEDx. That's not till May 3rd, I believe, is the action.
I love TEDx.
Yes, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. So
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you.
please, yes. Outside of that, just looking for partnerships. That's really important to me. I did Nevada Reading Week. So I got to go to multiple schools and read my children's book. And all the kids today, they were like, I've never met an author before. I was like, they were so precious, second graders, that just were just in love with the illustrations and everything.
Right.
So that made my heart really happy to be able to connect. So I'm just open for partnerships and collaborations for sure. Yes. So
Hey, it's with the children. That's how it's going to work.
yeah.
We educate, connect with the children, and that's how we're going to progress. I want to thank you so much, AA Monet.
Thank you for having me.
You're just a wonderful, wonderful human being and gorgeous to boot. So we'll be seeing you on TEDx, hopefully, and in the shops with your new book.
Yeah.
And I'll see you again on here sometime. Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Bye.
Hello.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.